Good morning, Webbridge. Here are the announcements for today, Friday, May the 7th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pause for a moment of silent reflection. Think about the things that you are thankful for and for the positive day ahead. Here are the milestones reminders for today. Again at 9 a.m., make sure that you check your device and that you see that DRC Insight icon. If you don't, or if you don't have a device, please make your way to the academic rotunda at this time. We're going to end Compass early again today around 9:10. You're going to go to your testing location and we will enter into testing mode. If you have any questions about where your testing location is or where your opt-out room is, please go ahead and ask your Compass teacher at this time. Our schedule for today, we are going to be in first period with Compass, then testing 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, and end the day with second. Today for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, we're going to learn more about K-pop. It's part of what is called Hallyu, literally meaning the Korean wave, used to refer to the colossal and ever-growing impact of South Korean culture, shown in the popularity of everything from K-dramas on Netflix to the meteoric rise of K-beauty. Let's learn more about K-pop and how this $5 billion industry is influencing the world today.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
I'm in Seoul, a city that in the late 1990s was in the throes of the Asian financial crisis, borrowing colossal amounts of money from the IMF. Now South Korea has pride of place in the G20 and it's one of the strongest economies in Asia. Massive government investment and an international outlook have been key. The country's a huge exporter of technology, but also of pop culture.
Adrien Lee has lived in Seoul for 10 years. He hosts a weekly show on the entertainment industry, and he's part of a generation who've witnessed the K-culture phenomenon.
So tell me, this Korean pop culture phenomenon, it even has a name, right?
Exactly, yeah. We call it Hallyu in Korea. In English, Korean wave, K-wave, and it's basically everything that has to do with Korean culture. So it can be music, it can be movies. It also goes a little bit beyond into Korean cuisine and also even the Korean language. These days, more and more people are learning the language as well.
And I believe the South Korean government even supported that industry.
Yes, well, it didn't really start with the government, but these days, of course, the government is using it as a tool to promote Korea, attract more tourists and more visitors to this country. And this whole Korean wave trend basically kicked off around the year 2000, and now it's really picking up speed. It's expanding, of course, to Southeast Asia, but also all over the world, even in France. Yeah.
So, what are the most visible aspects of Hallyu?
Well, there are two main pillars to the Korean wave. So on one side, you have Korean TV series, which we call K-dramas, and on the other side, it's the music, K-pop. And today I'll show you one of the big K-pop schools here in Seoul.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So Olivia, let me introduce you one of the big K-pop schools here in Seoul. So it's basically a music academy. They have singing lessons, dancing lessons, instruments, and it's a pretty big school. Overall, they have about 1,500 students.
Rehearsal going on, I think.
They're dancing.
For those who don't know it, can you tell me a bit about K-pop style? What is it?
Well, K-pop is basically Korean mainstream pop music. boy bands, girl bands. They're really into it. They're really passionate about it.
It's a serious
Yeah.
business.
K-pop bands like Blackpink, Super Junior and EXID may project a fun, light-hearted image, but this is a serious business, with strict contracts drawn up by the record labels and heavy training schedules for the young stars involved. The industry brings in billions of dollars a year, and the South Korean government's invested heavily in what is essentially a very exportable product.
Now for today's trivia winners, we have our question from yesterday, which asked about what is the 5th flavor of Chinese food according to traditional medicine, and that answer is B, bitter. We had 3 winners yesterday. We had Mia, and Rahika. If you will please stop by the front office to claim your prize. Now for today's trivia question we have, which K-pop group became the first South Korean artist to be nominated for a Grammy? Is it A, Blackpink, B, EXO, C, Twice, or D, BTS? Submit your answer to bit.ly/AAPIHM21. Don't forget about our origami contest, and have a fantastic Friday.